Hi everyone, welcome to your Pick-a-Pile reading. Today we'll be exploring some upcoming work and money developments. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new Pick-a-Pile videos on Sundays. Also, if there is a particular topic that you'd like me to cover in an upcoming Pick-a-Pile video, I would love to see for it in the comments below. And as always, if you guys are interested in a personal reading, the link is in the description. But moving on to the piles, pile number 1 is the Solabusca Tarot. Pile number 2 is the Influences of the Angels Tarot. And pile number 3 is the Wisdom Seekers Tarot. But with that being said, I'll give you guys some more time to choose if you haven't already. And we'll get started with pile number 1. Alright, so before I get started on your reading, I would like to remind you guys that the best way for me to know if these readings resonate with you guys is by leaving a like or a comment. But for your overall energy here, we have the Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups is a very interesting energy to have in relation to your work, because oftentimes the Two of Cups talks more about love and soulmates. So I'm almost getting that there's certainly two camps of you guys. There's people who are going to find work through some kind of a romantic partner, and then there's another group of you guys who are going to sort of fall in love with your work. And I feel like the biggest development here isn't so much that you're going to see perhaps money, so much as you seeing a new development in actually liking the kind of work that you do, because I feel like with the Six of Cups, prior to this, you really were in a job that you perhaps didn't find as enjoyable, and you're sort of moving into a period of your life now where you feel like this is more your speed. This is more something where you are like meant to work in this, and it feels more aligned with your path. And I'm definitely getting a lot of the same here, because we have the Seven of Cups and the Page of Cups, right? Now, the Cups are very emotional. So I'm seeing a lot of, like, you guys being happier with your job than perhaps in the past. And the Seven of Cups talks about fantasy and really getting down and daydreaming. So I feel like you guys have been really thinking about where it is that you want to move forward in life, and in particular a career. I'm not necessarily seeing that you guys are going to see a huge increase or anything like that, but I'm certainly getting that you guys are going to be so much more happier with your job, that it's going to be so much more worth it, right? Because the Page of Cups, I feel like something is going to come. I feel like this job might just fall into your lap. It's not something where you're going to seek out the job. It's almost as if the job is going to find you. Perhaps an acquaintance will tell you about this job and you apply and everything kind of works out. Because I'm looking at this Magician card here, and the Magician card is a very powerful card when it comes to manifestation. So it's an extra powerful card to get in tandem with the Seven of Cups, because the Seven of Cups is already so many of the things that you have to do in order to manifest something. I feel like you guys are thinking about things, you're visualizing things, and all of that is going to work with you to manifest this job that you want. I'm also seeing here with this Five of Wands in reverse that even though this is a job that you're gonna really enjoy, I don't feel like it's a very competitive atmosphere. Like, you're not gonna have too difficult of a time getting this job. But also, I feel like currently you guys may be in an environment where you don't really get along with your higher ups, or there's conflict and competition there. And with the Six of Swords, you're moving away from that energy, right? You're moving away from the energy of feeling like you're not on the same page and there's competition and all around general sense of stress or arguments, right? Disagreement and conflict, because that's kind of what the Five of Pentacles sort of embodies in a nutshell. And I feel like you guys are certainly walking away from that and more into like a higher purpose kind of a job. And with this Four of Wands here, I'm getting that you guys are really, because the Four of Wands is commitment, right? But I feel like it's almost like commitment to your job. I'm reminded of a post that I saw the other day that said, nothing will kill a hardworking employee faster than the way you treat your not so hardworking employees. The message of the post being, if you're unfair and you let things slide, then the people that work hard are going to feel a lot more disencouraged to work hard. And I feel like you're going to enter an environment where you're not only encouraged to work hard, but you feel good working hard. And for some of you, this might also be love, because we have soulmates and we have the commitment card, and that's a very powerful combination to have together. But that was your reading for this pile. You guys are more than welcome to go back and choose another pile if you so choose. But if you enjoyed the reading, please consider leaving a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Pick a Pile videos on Sundays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading. Okay, so if you chose pile number 2, this is your pile. I do want to mention that if you guys enjoy the reading, the best way for me to know is if you leave a like or a comment. But your energy here, your overall energy, is the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is a very powerful energy because it's a time of introspection and a time of going within and really figuring things out, I feel. Now, in the context of sort of work and money, I feel like you guys really need to think about what it is that you care about and what it is that you want in this sort of environment, because I feel like you guys have been willing to sort of settle in the past because of financial constraints or really needing the money or whatever, but I feel like now you're entering a cycle, a period in your life where you're more able to really focus down on what it is that you want out of a job. I feel like you're able to more look towards the emotional fulfillment aspect of a job and not so much the financial fulfillment. I don't see that there's going to be any issue with that. It's just that in the past that was priority number 1. Now you have two things that aren't mutually exclusive that you can really have together. And the first card that you guys got was the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles is a phenomenal energy to have in the context of work, because the Three of Pentacles talks about working together. So I feel like in the past maybe you felt very unappreciated or felt very much like the burden was placed squarely on you, but now that you're entering this new period here with the Hermit card, I feel like you're really prioritizing this concept of having a work environment where you are appreciated and treated fairly. And I feel like that's something that's very important to you and that you're really going to focus in on during this Hermit period. But I do want to mention here that we have the Sun card. And the Sun card here, whenever you see the Sun, know that it's the happiest card in the deck. So you guys are going to see a lot of success and a lot of abundance here financially, as well as sort of like emotional, spiritually through your job. And I'm looking at this column here. Now, this column is very negative. We have the Five of Cups and the Ten of Swords, which are both very sad cards in the sense that Five of Cups is sometimes called disappointment, and the Ten of Swords brings ruin and sadness and betrayal, right? Heartache. But I feel like all this energy is in the past. And I feel like this is kind of what's been pushing you towards this Hermit energy. I feel like a lot of you guys with the Hermit card might be leaving a job. I feel like a lot of you guys might have been in this Ten of Swords energy where people have started fake rumors about you or purposefully gone after you in particular in the workplace because, I don't know, you're some kind of a threat to them. So I feel like you've really had to evaluate what kind of an environment you're going to be in that, or rather what kind of an environment you want to be in. Because with the Five of Cups, we have this energy where it's like you've spilled over 3 of your 5 cups, but it's okay, you have 2 left. But is that really what you want? Do you really want to like settle for 2 cups instead of having all of your 5 cups? And I feel like that's the point that you're at. You're really going after those 5 cups, even though you have the 2 cups. And I feel like that's really good in the context of money and work because it brings you a lot more of abundance. And certainly here with the Empress, regardless of like gender or identity or whatever, like the Empress is the Queen of Queens, right? So you have very high, I don't want to say expectations, but you know what you deserve and you know your worth, and I feel like that's a wonderful thing. I just do know that with the Magician here in reverse, it almost feels like there's something that may be blocking this from manifesting or coming forth, or it may feel like there's something that like this isn't quite time yet, and I feel like that's tied into this Hermit card because I almost feel like you guys perhaps might not have like a career path set in stone yet, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but it's something that that you really should sit down and figure out so that you can start working towards your end goals, right? And I feel like that's what this Hermit card is asking us to do. Either it doesn't necessarily have to be like, this is going to be the career for the rest of my life, and I'm starting today, and everything is going to turn out exactly the way I say it. I feel like the Hermit card is more urging you guys to have a goal in mind, a general goal that you can achieve that's measurable, that's realistic, and I feel like if you take that approach, you're going to see a lot more of this abundance, because you're going to be able to work with people to achieve your goal. And with the Sun card, like, it's basically achieved already. All you really have to do is go out and do it. So there's a lot of powerful energy here. But that was your reading for pile number 2. Like I said before, you guys are more than welcome to go back and choose another pile if you so choose. But if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Pick a Pile videos on Sundays, but in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading. And with that, we move on to pile number 3. All right, you guys, if you chose pile number 3, you're in the right place. I do want to mention, though, that if you enjoyed the reading, the best way for me to know if you enjoy or if the reading resonates with you guys is to leave a like or a comment. But with that being said, your overall energy here is the Ten of Swords. Now, I do want to mention up top that the Ten of Swords, the Empress, and sort of like the Lover's energy has been very recurrent through all the readings today. Especially if you have if you chose these 2 cards, I would recommend choosing pile number 2 as well, because it had very similar energies. But with the Ten of Swords, I feel like you guys have experienced some kind of betrayal in the workplace. I feel like you've experienced some kind of issues in which perhaps somebody has been speaking behind your back or causing trouble for you. And I feel like that's in the forefront of your mind right now. You really want to leave this environment. I'm almost getting the words toxic work environment. You guys might not be getting a whole lot of like time to rest, or you might have to work very long, unrealistic hours. You know, that all just depends on what your scenario is. But I feel like you guys are moving away from feeling like you're not making enough money or you're not financially stable, right? Because I see the King of Pentacles as well as the Queen of Swords and the Empress. And those are all really powerful energies to have. But just going from like left to right here, we have the Lovers card, which is very interesting because it's almost as if all these readings have had this theme of like finding new employment through a relationship, possibly. So for some of you, you might be working with a partner or getting a job, or maybe they help you get a job. But I also feel the secondary effect of you falling in love with your job. I feel like this is a new experience for a lot of people that have maybe worked jobs that they weren't exactly passionate about. But I'm getting for some of you, you might actually be starting your own business here, especially with the Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords is very sort of philanthropist energy, right? She's very business-minded. She is very intelligent when it comes to subjects such as business and law. And I feel like this energy kind of also comes from this, because you guys have experienced that Ten of Swords, betrayal, and sort of toxicity in your work environment. So now you've become this Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is not afraid to cut people off. Even just like from the card itself, you can see that she's coming towards possibly like the viewer from the perspective here, ready to cut them off. And I feel like you've really learned to let go of things that don't serve you, and that's a very valuable skill to have. And the Eight of Pentacles is a card about skills. So I feel like that's a skill you've developed, but beyond that, I feel like this is an actual skill, like the skill that you would go to like a training school or like college for, or perhaps on-the-job training. But whatever it is, you're developing some kind of a new skill that's going to help you a lot when it comes to future employment, and that's going to bring you this King of Pentacles energy. And the King of Pentacles is very stable, very powerful, and stable when it comes to things such as material goods. So this person is really able to manifest and work with money that comes and goes. They're a smart investor. So I feel like a lot of you guys perhaps have been in a very financially conscious living environment. So you might not have like the most expensive furniture, or you might not have a whole lot of decorations or whatever. But I feel like when this whole energy is said and done, and you're really coming into your money and you're really coming into your passion for working, you're going to see a lot more stability, and you're going to be able to do things like decorate your house or whatever it is that you're interested in. And like I was saying, with this Temperance card, we're seeing the balance here, because the Lovers, there's that symbolism of balancing the yin and the yang, right? And then with the Temperance, we have a lot of the same energy about balancing and proportions. So I feel like you guys are going to see this balance that allows you to really strike up a relationship between something that you care about and something that is affordable, or rather that allows you to afford your cost of living in a very comfortable way, so, your quality of life, basically. So with the Empress card here, like, I feel like at some point you're going to be living like royalty. Perhaps not immediately, but you're working towards that, and that's your goal. And with this Two of Wands here, you're really trying to come up with a game plan. Because the Empress knows her worth, and she's the Queen of Queens. And I feel like that's kind of the energy that you're in, regardless of if you're a man or a woman or whatever. I feel like you're in this royalty energy, and you know that you have these pentacle energies, and you know that you have these swords energies, and you know that you're a smart investor. It's just that these things take time, and they take capital to get going. But this Lover's card, and like a lesser spoken aspect of the Lover's card, is the aspect of surmounting obstacles. And I feel like that's kind of where you're at. You're really surmounting the things that are in your way, and you're really getting out of this Ten of Swords energy. The good thing about the Ten of Swords energy is that the 10 is the last number in the suits. So the 10 comes with it a finale. So you're coming out of the energy of the Ten of Cups. Sorry, the Ten of Swords. And you're moving more into a Ten of Cups energy, right? I just kind of slipped out, but I feel like that's your goal, right? Ten of Cups is more emotional fulfillment and happiness, and I feel like that's what you're working towards. But that was your reading for this pile number 3. You guys are more than welcome to go back and choose another pile. Like I said before, pile number 2 had very similar energy. But if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Pick a Pile videos on Sundays, but in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.